And Andrea is here, looking so young.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You said you're not getting much sleep at the moment, no? What?
No, I'm doing a play and
then...
yeah.
Gosh, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, I've seen the billboards for it all over the tube stations.
I know, it's quite exciting having your face on the tube.
Yeah, but you've got your face on your telly tonight. In DCI Banks.
Yeah.
What can we expect then for this series?
This series, I mean, we're so lucky we have such a loyal fan base. So we, obviously, the main cast are back, which is great. We're such a good team now and I love working with them. And we've got a new story arc. So usually it's 3 separate stories and this time we've got a story running throughout as well as the separate crime stories.
Are they very nervous then when they come in, the young actors? They must be, 'cause it's a big show.
Yeah, and you forget because all the terminology about getting on your marks and close-ups and all of that. I don't think you're often taught a lot of that and you kind of have to learn on the job. So I kind of really enjoyed that, being a bit of a mother to them and going, right, you know, you can ask to do another take. There was one girl, Alice, she was from where I'm from, Arnold in Nottingham, so that was really good to work with her. And yeah, it was really nice. But Stephen and one of the directors, Rob Quinn, they were, Rosie, one of the actresses who was her first job, was saying she had to pay for close-ups, and they were being terrible. Right, you owe us a bit more money because we're going in closer now. You would just take it off your fee. But yeah, it was good fun. Yeah. Well, do you know what? I think she was humouring them, so the joke was really on them.
They always think they're clever, these technical people, in my opinion. So, it's a real pleasure, I guess, getting back together with the cast as well. And Stephen has been in it for ages, hasn't he, Stephen Tonkinson?
Yeah, we've both been in it from the start.
So will we see Annie, though, and DCI Banks get close again on screen, do you think? Because she is married, but we're not convinced
We're not convinced that she's happy. She thinks she's doing the right thing, but he has already moved on a bit, and there's nothing like that to kind of sometimes make you realise that you've made a mistake. You know, I think she always thought Banks would be there, and he is within the work environment, but he has a new lady on the scene, so I think that, you know, pushes some buttons in Annie.
What do you think it is about DCI Banks that people love? Because, what is it, the 5th series? Yeah, that's some going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the longest I've ever played a role for, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of it is Left Bank, the production company, are unrelentless and they always get great directors, great writers. The team, I think we all get on really well, and having fabulous guests, but also the location. I think, obviously, Peter Robbins set it up brilliantly with the novels. But the location, Yorkshire's amazing. I mean, you've got this brilliant urban city, and then you can go 10 minutes and you're in these crazy locations. I particularly didn't like working at the dump. So there's a really nice scene of me in one of those blue overalls with a mask.
Nice.
Which wasn't very flattering. But yeah, I think it's the locations, and I think having a bit of the personal story behind the scenes as well as the crime really helps. But yeah, I think mainly, you know, we have some amazing guests.
Yeah, you do. Well, it's not surprising, really. Anyone would want to be in it, really, wouldn't they? God's Own County, Yorkshire, the story, you, Stephen, Caroline. I always call her Karen for some reason.
Jack Dean.
Yeah. So, how do you all get along? I mean, how do you get along now? Because you're actually, Annie's struggling with work and a baby, and actually you have got a very similar thing going on in your own life,
my son isn't a baby anymore. No. I'll say hello to him.
But it's still a bit hard being a mum, isn't it? And working.
Do you know what? Everybody does it now, though, don't they? So I think everybody understands. You just get on with it. And it seems such a long time ago that it was, you know, I have lots of brilliant people who help, good family. But yeah, that seems like a long time ago, really. But
so how do you manage with the theatre thing? Because you're in How the Other Half Loves.
Yes, which is brilliant.
In the West End of London.
Yeah. And it's quite nice to be in something where somebody doesn't die. It's a comedy, and it's until the 1st of October at the Duke of York's in St Martin's Lane. And I hadn't done theatre for a while, and I'd forgotten kind of how intense it was. I was like, oh, I'll have the days to myself, but it doesn't really work out like that.
I'm sure it doesn't. So you don't do a matinee then?
Yes, I do matinees. I kind of put those to the back of my mind when I accepted the job.
Don't know how you do that.
But it's really good fun. And do you know what the brilliant thing is? I'm learning so much, and you don't get edited. So what you're saying is what you're going to be saying, and it is always different because it's a really technical show. Something always goes wrong. Not that the audience always knows, so you really can never relax. And I think that's part of it that's quite exhausting, kind of just having to be focused all the time. But we do have a laugh, and it's a brilliant cast.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Same here, doing live television. You say things and they just come out and you can't get them back.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see even more great guests, then click here. There are plenty more fantastic interviews to come, so make sure that you subscribe.
But I have this kind of face that kind of... I remember, you know, I put my Nazi suit on. My son, who's 14 now, saw a picture of me in the Nazi suit, and he went, yeah, you see, that works.
You don't want your son saying that to you. That's not something you want.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks.